I feel like the reason why Vance doesn't really win this debate is because as we watch it, Vance was expected to come into this debate and just kind of be like a crazy, kooky loser, but he speaks very well. I think it's like a typical politician speaking on a debate stage. I think he actually outperforms Walz. I think he's done better than Walz in this debate, but Trumples don't care about that. The problem is that he's not really pushing up negatives on the Democratic side. Like, Democrats will look at Vance and go, oh, he's not as crazy as I thought he'd be tonight, but they're not voting for Trump. And Trump's own base only wants to see a man in orange paint throw feces at his opponent. So Vance isn't really helping anybody, I think, on the Trump side either. So because Trump has like mind rotted the MAGA base so much, I don't know if Vance having a good performance where all he's doing is agreeing a lot with Walz and saying, oh yeah, he's reasonable and we're cool or whatever. I don't think that I don't know if that helps much with Trump's base. What Destiny just described is how out of touch he is with MAGA and how emotionally filled his opinion is. Such a reach. Considering emotionally filled, the fact of the matter is that your candidate and his vice president running mate on his ticket right now, neither of them will acknowledge the outcome of the last election. That disqualifies the majority of you, in my opinion, from even being able to vote again for at least like 3 elections. You should be banned, maybe even have your citizenship revoked, because I don't even know if you're a fucking American at this point. I would rather ship in 500,000 dog-eating Haitians than have some dipshit that doesn't even believe the election was real because they're so fucking mad that their ass-pained orange clown didn't get to win like he wanted to. So, I mean, you can call it what you want, but the reality is you guys are fucking delusional. Like, you still live in a fantasy land, and nobody's ever made you reckon with that. And it should happen. It's insane. It's unhinged. 2A supporters got to vote Republicans here, unfortunately. Why? Because you're retarded, or have you shot yourself in the face with your gun multiple times and there's like not enough brain in there left to make a coherent decision? You understand that Donald Trump passed gun control legislation or through executive order when he was in office, right? You know that the bump stock ban happened under Donald Trump, right? You know that nothing happened under Obama, right? Like, why would you trust Donald Trump with guns? If a bad enough school shooting happens and it's unpopular enough with his base, who, by the way, now fucking hate cops and everything anyway, Donald Trump could be worse on guns than a Democrat would be. You have no fucking idea. Remember, at the end of the day, this is a dude from fucking New York, okay? You think Trump is some huge advocate of the Second Amendment? You're crazy. You're delusional. As opposed to Democrats who want to ban pretty much all guns. Good one. You know what's really crazy is I lived in Omaha, Nebraska under my 8 years of Obama, where all the ammunition stores would have all these, or the gun stores would have all these sales on ammunition and everything. And guess what? Obama never banned guns. Isn't that crazy? We just had 4 years of Biden, and guess what? Biden never banned guns. Isn't it crazy that how much you guys fearmonger over banning guns and it still hasn't happened? Isn't that weird?
Coalition that Kamala Harris
No communism either, huh?
From Bernie Sanders.
Can you break down why the Dems border policy is better? I'm trying to lay it out for my conservative parents and can't really find footing. The reality is, my dude, is that none of these policies actually matter at the end of the day. It's all fear-mongering and talking points. Like, go to your mom and dad and say, like, hey, how many people are illegally in this country right now? How many people have illegally crossed the border? They have no fucking idea. Nobody really knows, right? What, like, I could be in the middle of the debate and just start making numbers up and people will just agree with me. Like, nobody has any actual idea. Like, oh, you know, maybe 50 million illegals crossed, maybe 5,000 crossed. Like, at the end of the day, I don't know if, like, it's not like you are counting the illegal immigrants or seeing them coming through anywhere or whatever. So you can kind of just basically say whatever the you want, and then it is what it is. Destiny Dodge, LOL. What do you mean Dodge, LOL? If you want a policy-based answer, then the actual answer is Donald Trump won't do anything about the border because he had 4 years to do it and he did all. That's the actual policy answer. The policy answer is Donald Trump did nothing when he had both halves of Congress. He sat there and he cried like a little baby bitch because he doesn't know what the 3 branches of government even do. He tried to write legislation via executive order. He failed miserably at doing it. He built probably 2 pickets of the wall that Mexico was supposed to pay for. They didn't. And then as soon as the next administration came in, everything was gone because nothing was even done legislatively. And when we had Biden in office, we had a bipartisan bill that was going to shore up a lot of issues relating to border security and the asylum-seeking process that would have actually helped. And then Trump scuttled that. So the answer is, in office, Donald Trump did all about the border, and out of office, he sabotaged the border. So that's the Republican response to the border. And before that, we had Barack Obama, who was one of the most universally hated people when it came to immigration because of how extreme he was when it came to deportations and it came to basically having tight border policy. So that's your history. If you want to go on a policy basis, then you can look at why Obama was called the deporter in chief. You can look at the monumental failure of Trump to do anything when it comes to legislation because he's a loser and everybody knows it, okay? Because as soon as he turns his back, everybody's laughing at him and how much of an insecure retard he is, okay? And then you can look at what Donald Trump did when he was out of office, which is just to sabotage and scuttle legislation. So there's your policy answer if you want it, but you don't give a because you're fucking retarded, because you're a Trump voter, right? It's a prerequisite for being a Trump voter. There's nothing I can say to you. There's no answer on heaven and earth. There's absolutely nothing I can say to you to try to convince you of what's going on. It's like trying to talk to a blind person and convince them that there's a mountain in the horizon. You can't even see it. You're retarded. Like, I don't know what you want to say. Is there anything that Trump did good? Just curious as a Canadian at Destiny. I think the concept of the First Step Act was okay. I don't know if that got anywhere. I know that it passed, but I feel like I heard that they tried to cut funding to it. I think the First Step Act was probably okay. Arguably pressuring NATO countries to spend more is okay. If they, I don't know if that's like a fucking blind monk managed to do that. I don't know if he even knows what NATO is or what it's for. Warp speed for the vaccine was okay, although he sabotaged his own efforts on the vaccine by inflaming panic among his voter base that made them not even trust the vaccine. So, yeah. Gathering all of our space assets into one military branch, the Space Force, was okay. Killing Soleimani, yeah, it was okay, I guess. Is the Abraham Accords good? Personally, I don't think so, but that's a whole other thing. Killing Soleimani was good. Fuck Iran. So much blind hate today, Steven. Not cool. What hate that I just gave you was blind? I literally just gave a justification for everything. You look at the conclusion. If you don't like the conclusion, you're like, wow, that sure was reasoned poorly. Why? Well, because I disagree with it. The big issue is that Trump just doesn't know how government works. So it's hard for him to even do anything effective in government. He has no idea. He doesn't know what the three branches of government are for. He probably doesn't know how a bill gets passed. He doesn't know the difference. He probably doesn't know what a tariff is. He doesn't know what the difference is between the trade deficit or the budget deficit or the national debt. He wouldn't be able to explain those things. If you ask him what a trade deficit is, who's the deficit to, he wouldn't be able to answer that. The problem is that Trump is an idiot, right? So it's hard to say, like, well, what did he... look at like he's retarded. He might do some things okay by chance, but do you feel like Trump or Harris is going to win this election? I mean, I feel like Harris is going to win it, but the problem is it's not even that even if she wins, it's not. The issue is you have all these mind rotted, like retarded fucks that are like rotting our country right now. These anti-American, like anti-patriotic, like America hating people that hate this country and hate every part of like what the country was founded upon, who are now like just here to rot their children's minds, to be a rot in the Republican Party, to be a rot on our media landscape. I don't know. I'm not sure. Donald Trump is smarter than you. I'm pretty sure my IQ is over 85, so I don't think he is. I would bet money that Trump's IQ is legitimately less than 100. I think he's probably like decently below average intelligence, just from the way that he talks, his incapability of speaking about anything with any sort of understanding or intelligence. I don't think I've ever in my entire life heard him speak about anything. I'm like, oh, at least he knows this or understands this. Even real estate, I don't think I've heard him say. I mean, but we just look at his business record when it comes to that. If Donald Trump hadn't had The Apprentice, none of you would even know who he was. You would have no idea. Donald Trump his brand is literally being a brand. I guess in a way, it's like the perfect example of a simulacrum or of the fall of the conservative party, that they voted for a guy whose brand was having a brand. That was the brand of Trump. Nobody from Omaha, nobody fucking buys Trump steaks and think they're good. Nobody knew what the Trump University was and think that it's a, oh shit, I'm going to go get educated here. Trump Tower and the hotels were kind of interesting in like a gaudy kind of way, and like a red tie and on a black suit kind of way. But also, how fucking embarrassing that you have Donald Trump is literally selling all of these things while he's running for office. What is that called? Using the trappings of office? It's not technically like a scandal. It's not technically incorrect or wrong, but like you should be, and the biggest problem with conservatives is that you guys feel no shame. Like that's the biggest issue. Like you could walk into a room and then I could find you like pulling your, entirely erect 3.5-inch out of a tiny dog while it lays there and screaming. And then I could look at you and be like, bro, what the is wrong with you? And you're like, I was horny, I guess. Huh, whatever. And then you just walk away like it's normal. Like, that's the kind of person a Trump voter is. They have no shame, no accountability, no responsibility, no obligation to live in reality. You guys are unhinged. Like, I would kill myself if I was supporting a guy that was selling 100. Wait, this is the first edition? Are these the recent ones that he was selling too? Because he redid them. Subject to the terms and conditions here. The website offerings, including the digital trading cards, physical trading cards, and limited edition gold and platinum sneakers, are intended as collectible items for individual enjoyment only, not for investment purposes. The website offerings, including the digital trading cards, physical trading cards, and limited edition gold and platinum sneakers, are intended as collectible items for individual enjoyment only, not for investment purposes. The website offerings are not affiliated with any cryptocurrency offering or with World Liberty Financial, are not political, and have nothing to do with any political campaign. All of the stupid scam shit that he's selling isn't even going towards helping him win the fucking election. It's just shit that he's using to get rich on his own. How fucking retarded do you have to be to support this guy? To own, it's just unbelievable to me. Holy shit. You guys are unreal. You guys are unreal. Kamala Harris tomorrow could give a speech about the evils of sounding, and the next day conservatives would be lining up to shove glass tubes down their and smash them, saying that they're owning the libs. You guys are unhinged. You're delusional.
God damn. All right. Who was that directed at?
It's Trump voters. They're subhuman. It's insane.